A conflict stretching into its second month with no clear end in sight. Drone and missile strikes continued overnight between Israeli and Iranian forces. And even as the U.S. indicates it's talking with Tehran, the Iranian regime appears to be dismissing proposals coming its way. Our Oh Soo-young has the latest.
Iran struck again overnight, setting a fully loaded crude oil tanker ablaze off the coast of Dubai. The Kuwait-flagged Al-Salmi, carrying around 2 million barrels of oil, was hit by a drone attack in the early hours of Tuesday. Dubai authorities say the fire has since been brought under control, with no oil spill and no crew injuries, but the damage to the hull is significant. The attack marks the latest strike on commercial shipping in the Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, as the conflict between Iran, the United States and Israel continues for over a month. Just hours earlier, US President Donald Trump warned Washington would obliterate Iran's power plants, oil wells and Hog Island, the hub for much of Iran's oil exports, if Tehran does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz by April 6th.
Trump issued a 10-day pause to postpone planned strikes on Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure. This remains a truly once-in-a-generation opportunity for the regime to make a good deal with the United States.
The White House says diplomacy remains ongoing. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said talks with Iran are progressing and that what Tehran says in public differs from what it is telling US officials in private. But on the battlefield, there is little sign of restraint. Iran-backed Houthis have joined the fight, launching missiles and drones towards Israel, while Turkey says a ballistic missile fired from Iran briefly entered its airspace before being intercepted by NATO air defences. Israel, meanwhile, says it's continuing strikes on what it calls military infrastructure in Tehran and Hezbollah-linked sites in Beirut. Explosions were reported in eastern and western Tehran overnight, with local media saying some districts suffered power outages, and a separate strike on a Shiite congregation hall in Zanjan reportedly killed 3 people and injured 12. Washington is meanwhile increasing pressure on the ground. Media reports indicate thousands of troops from the US Army's 82nd Airborne Division began arriving in the Middle East earlier this week, part of a broader reinforcement that could widen Washington's options, including a possible ground assault, even as talks continue. Iran says it received US proposals through intermediaries after talks involving Pakistan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia and Turkey. But Tehran has dismissed those ideas as unrealistic, illogical and excessive. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.